Today we're inside a Substance Painter, and I'm in 2021, one of the versions, probably close to the latest. But what we're looking at here is how we export maps out of Substance Painter for Unity, HDRP in this case, and even URP. So let's talk about how you first get to the export, and then we'll talk about what the maps they export are. So if we can push Control-Shift-E, because I kind of already had this set up, Unity Universal Pipeline, URP. Which is not the one we want. We really want we want HD render pipeline, which is going to be the HD, which is more for high-end games or in Unity. So if we set that up and we set where it's going to render to, and it's based off the textures that you put in the scale here, but you can change that. You can change it to whatever you want. You can change the format from ping to whatever you want. You can change the dilation. So anyway, what we're looking at here is, the HD render pipeline. So what is it exactly exporting? What's the difference between this and everything else? And in fact, I should point out, you can pick a bunch of different ones. But we'll go back to metallic standard here. And if we open up the trim sheet button right below the global settings, you'll see this is what it's going to export out. So what it's going to export out, and we'll talk about what they're naming them, but let's just look at this last part here. It's base map, mask map, normal map, and emissive map. So base map is your color, just flat color. Your mask map is a combination of different textures all into one map. And your normal is what most people understand the normals are, but I'll go over them again real quick inside of Photoshop because these two are kind of similar the way that they're all compiled together. And then your emissive map. But if you want more and stuff like that, we're going to have to change it. But by default, that's what it puts out. So if I say export at this point, it's going to put those out. But I want to talk about the difference here between that and let's go to Universal Render Pipeline. If we drop in here, you'll see it's different. So what's different? Instead of saying, first off, it says albedo transparent right here, and then which is your color and transparency map, and then it has metallic smoothness, and it doesn't have a mask map, and then it has a normal and emission, just like the other ones. So what's the difference? Well, this is a simpler way of doing it, and what we're talking about when we look at the mask map, I'll go back up here and go to mask map, and I put it out already so we can show you, is in Photoshop here. What a mask map is it's a bright green and yellow map with an alpha too. So if we look at it, what it's actually doing, and I'll put this link in the information below, but what we're actually doing is I'm going to come over here to Unity and say, hey, what's inside of this map? And you'll look and you'll see that the red channel is the metallic, the green channel is the occlusion, the detail mask is the blue, and then the alpha channel is the smoothness. Now, just a real quick note on smoothness. A lot of you are thinking when you look at your Substance Painter object here that we're talking about, if I just add a new layer real quick, I'll throw this up here. It's a pretty complicated, real quick way of doing it, but it's going to say rough. What the difference between rough and smoothness are they're inverted. It just means that the white is black and black is white on a smoothness as compared to rough. So it's a really easy fix for Unity or Substance Painter to export out for us. So if I go and look at the layers and the channels, you see here's the red channel, which is, if we go back to this one, is the metallic, and then the green channel is going to be the occlusion, and then the blue, which is a detail map, we are going to talk about that, and then the alpha. Okay, so that's why it's this big green color. And what I said earlier is if you understand the idea of normal maps, it's the same thing with a normal map, right? This is the left-right lighting for the computer to calculate. This is the up-down lighting, and this is the forward-back lighting. So that's what a normal map is, if you didn't know. So if we come back to this and we go to the base map, yep, the other thing it exported, very flat color, just all color, no information, no shadows. This gives me a bunch of different options that the Universal Pipeline or the HDR pipeline can use. Okay, so that's what we're looking at when we export all those pieces. So let's go back to Substance Painter here. There's obviously more stuff involved. How do we make it more customized, for example? And that's what we'll do in the next video.